Hello. Thank you for tuning into my channel. This is my Finish It Friday video for Friday, August 9th, 2024. So if you want to see what I've been working on this week, please stay tuned. The last couple of weeks have been pretty tame in the sewing room. Since the end of Vlogmas, I haven't worked a lot in here. One, because the school year started, so that kind of changes my schedule a little bit. But I do have some things that are going on. So I will share what I got accomplished this last week, and then we'll go over what's new for this week or for the next week. I have been working on quilting my nephew's quilt, and I wanted to let you guys see a little bit of the quilting. This is the spaced out pattern that was voted on by you, and I like the way it's turning out on the quilt overall. I will be honest though, I'm a little bit frustrated with this quilt. The thread has been breaking on the long arm, but I know that it's my own fault because I tried to do something different. I try to go with the recommended tension on the bobbin, and I'm not sure that that was the best choice, but I've been able to get through it. There's just a little bit of issues with the thread. The thread is like really breaking a lot, but I'm going to try not to let that bother me. This is some tension issues, but then when I went and looked back, the machine wasn't threaded all the way. Like there was some parts that were where the thread was supposed to go through this little thing right here. Uh-oh, can you see it? This little part, and it was not. And so I think that's what affected it. But I think that one reason that I'm so frustrated with it is because this pattern is just huge. It is a 12-inch pantograph. And so I was kind of struggling with setting it up. And then with advancing the quilt, there's more distance here than I thought there would be because the quilt is so chunky up on that, up on this rod. But either way, I think it's going to be fine since I think that it just feels like the thread is breaking and it just takes forever to get through each pass because the pattern is so wide, and that is quite a lot of quilting. So I really don't need to be as frustrated as I am with it, but I do need to spend some time on it. I'm only on the third row of stitching, but in fairness, I really have not been working on this a lot. If I've been getting 25 minutes a day on it, you know, that would be a lot. But I did spend a couple hours yesterday, so I got through the second pass. But with the thread breaking, it's just so challenging right now. I am just going to keep pushing through because there are at least 2 other quilts that I want to get on the long arm. But the quilting does look great, and you guys made the perfect choice for the pattern. But I know that it's just a big pattern with a lot of stitches in it. So we just have to get through it, but I know that we will. Oh, let me show you the what I'm going to do for the binding. I have not made it, and probably if I made it, I would be less frustrated. I'm going to take this plaid. This is a leftover from a 108, and I'm going to use this as the binding, and I'm going to use this gray as the flange. I think it's going to be really perfect. Maybe this weekend I'll take some time and get the binding done, and then I'll really feel more motivated to get this quilt finished. My nephew's birthday was the 6th, so I missed that deadline, but it'll still get done. So just wanted you guys to know about what I decided for the binding and to see a little bit of this quilting. I did a little bit of work on the rainbow strings quilt this week. I have it upstairs because I want to show you the back of it. But what I did this week was I went ahead and did the stay stitching on the edge of the quilt. You can see it just along the edge there, all the way around about 1/8 of an inch. And I think it looks really good. I am happy to do that because the seams will come apart if I do not stay stitch it, since I'm not going to be quilting it right away. The other reason is that I need to take the paper off the back of the interior of the quilt. And this way, if I need to take the quilt somewhere, I don't have to worry about the seams coming apart or the edges of the quilt fraying. I did start taking some paper off the back, so I'll flip it over and show you what I got done on that. Here is the paper that's taken off so far. I guess I've decided to kind of start in the middle and go out. I really don't have a plan for this. My first plan was to make sure that I had at least one little piece of paper taken off of each square. But now that I have the edges stay stitched, I can go ahead and get all of the paper taken off. If I want to, I can kind of fold up the quilt and work just on a little section at a time. I do have a couple of blocks all the way done. So let's get a look at those. This one's all the way done. And the main thing for me is just to make sure that even in the seam allowances, I have to go and get some of that paper so you can see it there just below. So I'm going to make sure that I get all of that paper out. On these two blocks, all of the paper is out except for in the corners here. Now I had stay stitched this as well, so these are going to be some little tiny pieces to take out. I have my tweezers, they're going to help with that. But I'm excited about this quilt. I'm looking forward to getting all this paper taken off so I can get it quilted. I don't have my my binding made for this one yet, so I may be able to work on that. That would probably be a good idea if I want to do some little mindless sewing. But this is where we are so far on this rainbow quilt. Even though I haven't done a lot of sewing at the sewing machine other than putting the finishing touches on this quilt top, I have been cutting some scraps. And so like I kind of did a little bit of a, I guess this is a mini project, because as I'm cutting scraps from my bin or from just leftover projects from this quilt or other quilts, I've been trying to prepare some Jacob's Ladder blocks. Even though I haven't sewn them yet, I went ahead and started getting some pairs together. So I'll just kind of show you what I have. These are just a few color combinations that we have going. This is denim with that red pinwheel fabric. And then we have a little bit of black and blue here, red and black. And then here's some black with some orange. I wanted to see if I could put some orange in the quilt. I have black and pink, and hopefully you recognize some of these fabrics. And then I found some more orange so we can have an orange and black block. And then I have like a yellow and green feel. And then this one is going to be blue and a brown. I don't know how well you can see that. And green with the dark blue. So I think this is, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And I think I have 9 already done. Maybe the 10th one is on the machine now. So this will be 19. I want my finished quilt to have 30 blocks. So I only need 11 more combinations to have enough to finish the blocks. I do have more of the gray 5-inch squares here. And then I cut a few more gray 2.5-inch squares. And they're all sitting in this box. This is my Jacob's Ladder quilt block box. And then I have the extra gray fabric. And as I come across more gray fabric in my scrap bin, I'm just putting it straight in here so that when I need more for my background of this quilt, I'll have it and I can just cut the squares that I need. This is I think it's going to be a really worthwhile project. Even though I'm just doing it as leader enders, it's still going to be a lot of fun. And what I might end up doing is just making this a major project. I know literally I do not have the space to add another project, but if I have all the pieces together, then it'll be really easy. Since I've been cutting scraps, I also have pulled more 2.5-inch squares, more 5-inch squares. I think I have a couple of 10-inch squares and maybe one 2.5-inch strip or two 2.5-inch strips. But I did add a little bit more to my potato chip block stash. I don't know if you can tell a difference from last time because it may only be like 5 pieces of fabric extra in there, but I did add a little bit to that. So those projects have been kind of fun. And I was thinking, as I was trying to use up some of these new boxes that I got, just putting projects in boxes. So I've been kind of going around the room and things that just have been out, putting them in boxes. I found my Quilt-as-you-go project that where I have been sewing, or I had been sewing 5-inch squares together and then putting them in these panels that I'm already, like I quilt the panel and I'm going to join all these together. I counted these and there's like 14 of them. Well, 13 completed blocks and then one extra 9 patch. And my original idea for this project was for it to be 20 blocks. So technically I'm so close to having this, the blocks done, that I could just make this an easy, mindless kind of project. And so I might do that. I might make this my next main project on the sewing machine. I do also have 2 other quilts that need to go on the long arm. I do want to put this one on the long arm and my giant Jacob's Ladder block quilt. So I don't know, but I know that this would be just some simple sewing that I could do because I only need like 6 more 9 patches. But the other part is I have to lay everything out to see exactly which ones I need. If I need the color on the outside or the light on the outside, just figuring that out. But that wouldn't be too bad. It would be super simple to put some 9 patches together from the 5-inch squares that are already cut. So I will think about that. If I want to do that, I'll go ahead and knock it out. I have one more thing to share. I was gifted some fabric in a bag, and I'll put a picture of the bag right here. It was left over from making masks, and somebody reached out to me and was like, hey, do you want this fabric? And I was like, sure. So I'll show you what I've gone through so far. I'm really at the beginning stages of this, so it is like there's still a lot in the bag, but let me show you what I've been working with so far. Okay. These are some of the pieces, and you can see the bag is still back there. These are some of the pieces that I have pulled out. I pulled these are fat quarters that have not been cut at all. So there's however many this is. Okay. And then some larger, these are 2 larger pieces. These are all solids. And then we have a variety here and then here. So much to go through. And then if you look here in the bag, there's still a lot to go through. So, and I can see like fresh fat quarters down there too. So a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to seeing what I can do with some of this fabric, how it can go into my stash and be used in upcoming projects. I'm really excited about the upcoming week. I want to take some time to finish my nephew's quilt, then get that binding done. I think it's going to be really rewarding to get another project done. Let me know in the comments what you're working on, what you're excited about. I can't wait to see what you have going on. If you have any questions about what you've seen in this video, leave them in the comments below. Thumbs up this video and share it with your friends. Subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.